Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Vobes show. Yes, it's Wednesday the 10th of July 2019. And today on the Vobes show, I am joined by the lovely Lara Sargent, who is a little bit nervous because you've not done this before.
Never.
So as you can see, there is a huge audience sitting out there in internet land.
Ginormous.
A ginormous audience that we actually can't see. But, ladies and gentlemen, if I just come down here and flip out the thing, we'll actually learn if there's anybody there. Laura Riddle is out there. Hello, Laura. Nice to see you. Fiona Russell, Andy Joy, Judith Oakley, and Barbara Charles, Malcolm Coghill. Hello to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank
you so much for joining. I can't move that down any further. Lovely to be here on the internet on another Wednesday back in Sussex, because the last time I was in
Peak District.
Yeah, the Peak District, which was fantastic. So it was great to do a show with Kevin Hall. Is Kevin out there? The lovely Julia has arrived. Ricky Bryan is there. Mark Selwood, Cheryl Craggs, Anne Osborne, Dan Harris, Claire Leach, Mark Selwood, and many more joining as we go, which is great. So on today's show, as I say, we've got the lovely Lara.
Hello.
And Lara, where do you come from?
I'm originally from London.
From what part of London?
Twickenham.
Oh, Twickenham, the posh part.
Yeah.
The posh part, by the near the rugby place?
Yeah, very near the rugby place.
Oh, there we are.
Yeah. But I came to university in Chichester and I never left.
Oh, never. What did you do at university in Chichester?
Marketing.
Marketing, eh?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's quite handy because we might talk a bit about marketing.
Possibly, yes.
So you've never left. This is funny because my son, Stanley, he went to university in Southampton.
Right.
And he never left. What is it about people, when you've got a child and they grow up and then they say, oh, I want to go to university. So that's nice. Yes, where are you going to go? Oh, I'm going to go to Edinburgh. You say, oh, no, Edinburgh, that's miles away. And then as a parent, you must imagine what that must be like as a parent going, oh, we're going to drive you up. It's nice to get a shot of them.
Yep.
It's nice to get a shot, have the house back. Billy, are you listening? It's nice to get a shot of them so you get the house back. But you've got to, every time you visit, you've got to go all the way up to Edinburgh or wherever it is. And then when they leave with all their honours and their flying hats. Did you have to do that with the flying hats?
I did
and
do
the
it.
gown?
I actually wasn't allowed to do it.
You weren't allowed to.
The rental company won't let you throw the hats because they'll get dirty.
Oh, see.
I did it anyway.
Is that what they do? Because I'm afraid I left school with CSEs and never went back. I went to mime school, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. And yeah, that's about it really. So I never had to do the throwing of the hats. I just assumed that was like what you wear. And it was yours to keep forever.
No, you rent it, you pay a fortune to rent it, and you give it back at the end of the day.
And you're not allowed to get it dirty. You can't even fling it in the air.
I did it anyway. I think everyone else did, yeah.
Yeah. So that, because I wonder what's in them, because they must get dented when they land. Because we're talking about mortarboards, ladies and gentlemen. Not waterboards, that's a different type of thing. If anyone's gone to university and had some waterboarding happen to them, I'd go and phone the police. This is something completely different.
Completely different.
Yes. So, whew.
I think they're quite hardy.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're hard. So when do they do that? Is that just for the photos?
Yeah. After the ceremony, when everybody's been bored of clapping for 3 hours.
Because they all come up and just accept their...
One by one.
One by one.
Yeah.
So, this is to award you a BA Hons in your chosen subject of curtain sewing in invisible countries. Well done to you.
And do you get... They don't put medal... It's not like a medal thing. It's just a scroll, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a fake one that they give you.
It's a fake scroll as well. Is it just for photos? And the parents to see it?
Well, yeah.
So do you have to hand
a certificate?
Yes.
But nobody sees you actually get it.
I see.
When you go off the stage, they give it to you sort of backstage, and then you just take it around with you. The scroll isn't real unless you buy it.
So do you have to give that back?
Yeah. It's just for photos.
It's all a fake.
It's all a scam.
It's all a scam. So in these days you can buy your degree anyway, so you didn't even need to go.
Yep.
That's it. I'm saving up for mine. So Malcolm Coghill says it's a live shot from the Peak District fake news. Yes, we're actually in the Peak District, by the way. Yep. Lara has cycled up on a unicycle.
Yep.
on a high wire. We set up a high wire from Bognor, where you live,
Yep.
and she has managed to cycle right up to the peaks.
Yep.
But the great thing is going back home, you can do it like a zip wire.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a great.
And you'll be able to...
Yeah. I'll be right back home in no time.
that'd be a piece of cake. So
Yeah.
that's quite nice. Mark Selwood says, hello, Richard and Lara.
Hello.
It's beautiful here, isn't it? Isn't it?
It is.
It's beautiful. It's just beautiful, isn't it? Poor old Mark. We take the mickey out of Mark, but he loves it. Yeah. He wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
And by the way, Mark, if you could stop sending me all those bombs in the post now. I know you're trying to blow me up because every time I take the mickey out of you, but it's just not beautiful, isn't it?
It's too far.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I shall have to talk to the bomb squad. Linda Kane. Oh, that's my phone going. Linda Kane says, hi, Lara. Great to see a new face.
Aww.
How long have you had that face?
Oh, a couple of months.
A couple of months. It is a new face after all. So that's great. Kevin's Rambles is A-up, lad. Nice to see you, Kevin. D for Bricks. We were only talking about you earlier, Daniel. We can't say what. Gordon, whose real name is Jordan. Hello, Jordan. Lovely to see you. Kevin says, if you went to mime school, what went...
Aww.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I did a lot of mime. And do you know, I think you should go to mime school. It's a great training ground for radio. That's what I think personally. I think it'd be marvellous.
Character building.
Yes, absolutely. Ricky, who says that the higher the education level, the sillier the hat. Is that true?
That is true.
Is it?
Yeah.
So go on, tell us. Describe some of the hats that you have to go as you get higher up in the echelons of education system.
So obviously just a regular undergraduate degree or graduate degree. It will come to me in a minute. You wear the mortar boards.
Right.
And then sort of as you get up to PhD level, you sort of wear it looks like a cushion on your head. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure somebody will know what it's called.
Pincushion.
It looks like a pincushion. It really does.
Okay.
It's very interesting.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Pincushion. That's
the
nice.
bigger the hat and the sillier the hat, it gets puffier.
Puffier. That is the word of the night, ladies and gentlemen. It gets puffier.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a break from this educational conversation because any guest who has first appeared on the show needs to have some liquid refreshment on the show. That's just a rule. Once you've been once, you don't get anything, I'm afraid. So on tonight's show, because you're a special guest, I went and spent some of the patrons' hard-earned money because I'm like that, and got some of Morrison's The Best. Could you tell us what flather it is?
It is sparkling raspberry lemonade. It's a British raspberry juice blended with lemon and delicately sparkling spring water for a sweet, fruity flavour.
Yes, it's very nice. I can't say that I've not tried it before because the lovely Julia and I have gobbled this up many times.
It does sound lovely.
We prefer the elder flower. Yeah, the elderflower. And by the way, if anyone's thinking of making some elderflower presse or any of that sort of stuff, now's the time to get out there because the elderflowers are there. And if you do make, and it's a particularly nice batch, send it to the Vobes. All right? Because we'd love to sample it. The lovely Julia, I know, she loves it, you see, so she'd love to sample it. Anyway, we've got glasses in here. We're going to have some of that. But also, you found some. I'm just wondering which way round to do this.
Yes. Whilst we're on the drinks subject, I went to Morrison's before I got here, and I found some spring water in a can, and it's resealable.
So let's just get this straight. This is spring water. Is it naturally still or is it sparkling?
Natural spring water.
Or is it still sparkling?
Still. There was a sparkling option.
Was it?
Yeah.
In a can?
In a can.
In a tin can?
Don't bottle it.
No. It's tinned sauce.
Yep.
You know they say it's always bottled at sauce. This one's tinned at sauce.
Tinned at sauce.
So, and it's got a resealable lid.
Yeah. I'm not sure how that works.
No.
I'm a bit sceptical about it.
Okay. So the question I want to know is bottled water, plastic, evil plastic. Plastics are now the evilest thing on this universe, apparently. The most evil thing. Dr. Evil is sitting there going, oh, we've created the most evil thing, plastic. Because the world knows that we couldn't survive without plastic. We couldn't do all these things. In fact, you know, my laptop's got mostly plastic in it. The camera here is plastic. You're probably watching a plastic screen for all I know. So we couldn't get rid of plastic altogether. No. We'd have no Vobe show, would we? Swines.
Nobody wants that.
But environmentally, people chuck their bottles into the ocean, and you've seen all this poor plankton trying to swallow a Perrier bottle. It's quite tricky for them.
Yeah.
So against that, tin. Are tins better for the environment? That's the big question. That is the question tonight. Are tins more environmentally friendly than plastic? They don't have screw-on lids, so that's one good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll find out, I'm sure.
Robert Croser. Hello, Robert Croser. Lovely to see you're back.
Hello, Robert.
And if you turn round, we'll see your front too. Although, your back is probably your best end, to be fair. George is here. Hello, George, with his railway trains, which is nice. Andy Joy says, my daughter starts her history masters at Worcester University in September. Do you have to take a little bottle of sauce with you when you go to Worcester?
Worcester sauce, yeah. You must do.
I think that must be part of the initiation ceremony.
Got to be.
You get doused in Worcester sauce and put into a baguette or something, I'm sure. Mark says, yes, Kevin, very funny, but isn't it? It's beautiful, isn't it? Oh, God. We've upset 2 people already.
We started it.
Nikki Jess says hello, which is great. Linda Kane says, what's wrong with a tap? As in water.
Well, if you're on the go, there might not be a tap available.
Yes, that's true. And transporting it. You see, the lovely Julia has got this rainbow-coloured... Well, it's not rainbow as such. It's purple, metallic, sheeny... what do you call it, Julia? She's got this reusable water bottle.
Yeah.
But it's like an aluminium thing.
Oh, yeah, you can get steel ones, stainless steel.
Or maybe it's a stainless steel. Although they have managed to stain the outside in this funny colour.
Yeah.
So
not,
it's
not so stainless
it's not
after
so,
all.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a lie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Julia says metals are easier to recycle than plastics. So there we are. So tins are probably okay. Although when I walk to the co-op, not the co-op, it's Morrison's. Been the Morrison's for nearly 15 years. I still call it the co-op. When I walk to Morrison's, I noticed there are half a dozen lager cans just tossed randomly all over the place. I didn't have time. I would have picked them all up, Julia. I would have picked them up. Only I was, you know what I was like. I was rushing. Couldn't pick them all up. Anyway, somebody's got a job in that area. They're employed to do that.
Andrew Sargent, who is my father.
Oh, hello, Andrew Sargent. Hello, Dad. All right, Dad. How's it going?
He said, which is better, llama or alpaca?
Apropos of llama or alpaca? Well, I imagine llama.
Why?
Well, alpaca is a smaller version, isn't it? If you have a llama,
Yeah.
If you can grill the llama in one go, you're going to be eating for the whole week. An alpaca, I think, has a silly hairdo on the top, doesn't it?
Yes. Actually, I think you're... Yeah.
Yeah. I did film a woman who owned some alpacas in Shropshire. They were very nice. But I think llama is more of a drama. I'm
Like
sticking
it.
to that.
Yeah.
Mark English is here. Whoa, Mark English. Mr. Withercue has arrived. He doesn't like being called Mr. Withercue, so please don't say that to his face. Okay. We just say that behind his back, and he doesn't know. But he's a lovely bloke. And Kevin's Ramble says, hello, Roberto. Rainbow chrome. Oh, it's a rainbow chrome colour. Thank you, Julia. I forgot what colour. Well, I didn't know how to describe. We were out looking at garden centres earlier today, just sorting out some stuff. I was working really hard, but I just helped Julia a little bit this afternoon. And then Julia almost crashed the car. Oh. She's a very careful driver normally, but she saw this Mini, didn't you? You saw this Mini with this incredible finish. I don't know what not livery, but it's Mini with this, what did you call it? Again, it was like her bottle. It was this sort of purpley, but it changed colour as the light hit it.
I think I've seen things like that. I couldn't.
So it went from marine blue to deep purple.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Marine Blue is a band, but I believe Deep Purple is.
Deep Purple definitely is.
So Marine Blue ought to get their act together, because that'll be the new LP of the week. But it's, what was the word of the day? Puffy.
Puffy, yeah.
Puffy.
Yeah,
The hat
puffy.
was puffy. Anyway, we haven't even tried any of this drink. So which one should we try first?
I think we should try this one.
Yeah, try the sparkling. There we go. Later on, we got some nibbles to try. I went and bought something because I knew Lara's coming on the show, and I thought, what sort of thing would Lara dislike the most? And, I may have found it.
Yeah, quite possibly.
So, but hopefully,
We'll find out.
I will like it too.
Yes.
So, or more. So, Cheryl Craig says, "Oh my God, Chameleon Mini. Oh, Chameleon Mini. Yes, that's what it was. It was a chameleon. Well, I don't know if that was Cheryl's description, but that is exactly what it is. So here we go. Chin cheers, everybody. Nice to have you
Cheers.
here, and thank you. Nice to see you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, I should also let people know that Lara also has another qualification, in as much that she has become a self-appointed bold explorer, social media guru. Is that the right terminology?
Sure.
I mean, I couldn't make it any longer.
No, I like it.
Self-appointed. Well, I can't even remember what I said now.
Yeah.
Self-appointed social media. Oh, bold
Bold
explorer.
Explorer, social media guru.
Yeah.
There we go. Got
That'll
it.
do.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means or what that entails, but Lara has put herself up to assist ye oldie baldy explorer-y get the views up on the videos by getting the word out.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd talk a bit about social media in today's show and find out what the secrets are and how to get whatever it is that you're doing more interest and I'm using the lingo there,
Yep.
the brand out there so that people discover you, because you're the expert. This is partly what you did at university?
Yes, so social media is a massive part of marketing anyway. And naturally, with my generation, it's huge in my life anyway.
My generation.
Well, we were born into it, weren't we?
So that's quite interesting. So yeah, because my generation, and I'm not that old, but old enough, wasn't born into it. It's a whole new thing, and I think the older you are, it just takes you longer to get your head round it. Whereas when you're born into it, it's
Comes
life.
naturally, yeah.
So how important, here's a question, how important is social media really, 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 really in most people's lives today, would you say?
Incredibly, massively important.
Can you ignore it?
You could, but you would find yourself incredibly disconnected.
And because I know that there will be people who sort of love it, and some people who may have tried it, been not just annoyed but affected by it, found it, they become addicted to it and then moved away from it. They found it dangerous, perhaps, offensive, or just stirred up trouble for them.
Yeah.
But do you think that you still, even if that's happened to you, still got to find some way of dealing with it? You can't just walk away and be in business or in some connected world.
Yeah, I think it's more than doable. I mean, I went to university on my marketing degree with a girl that was not allowed to use social media because she was adopted, and there was some stipulation in the adoption that she couldn't use social media.
How old was she?
My age.
So in mid-20s.
Yeah.
And she was adopted, and there's some hang on, this is just fascinating in its own right. So she was adopted and she was not allowed to, because what? She might find her real parents.
Her birth parents, I don't know the situation at all, but her birth parents could have found her on there, and there must have been some serious issue.
How did she deal with that? When, you and other people are all... That's me playing cards, by the way.
Yeah.
No, on your phones. How do you cope with that?
Honestly, I don't know how she did it. But I suppose in the same way, she was born without having that use.
Right, so she didn't find it an issue? No, but she was aware that everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, but I think she knew how serious it would have been if she did use it.
Right. And she didn't want to find her birth parents? No, because otherwise she would have used it in secret, I suppose.
Yeah, so I don't think it's impossible. Well, it's definitely not impossible because you could just shut it off. Some people don't even have internet still, so.
Yeah, that is hard to believe, isn't it? That some people don't have the internet.
Yeah.
That is quite hard to believe. Let's have a look and see if people are talking about anything of this. Malcolm Coghill says that my company paid a lot of dollars for getting us across on social media, and I mean $100,000. The result was they set us up on Facebook and advised us all to join LinkedIn.
Oh my gosh.
For 100,000. I mean, I should think in the early days there was a lot of not quite knowing and misinformation and what have you, and people were paying big money. I suppose that still goes on, that companies are fleecing others.
Oh, big
there
time.
Must be, because people, a little accounting agency in the back end of Southend-on-Sea at the end of the pier, a man who's 112 and that's all he's been doing, counting the rubles every day.
Yeah.
And then he's told, well, the only way you're going to keep your customers is if you're on social media. Give us 500,000 and so people must be being fleeced and going,
Oh, yes, all right, dear. I'll give you all my savings. Am I on Twitter now? Oh.
It does. It really does go like that. A lot of companies get ripped off.
Gosh, that's incredible.
If they don't know anything about it or how to use it, they'll pay as much as they can to get it because they know that it works in some way.
Yes, and that's okay. So it works, but what does it do? How do we know it really works? Social media. What is it really doing for you?
Well, it connects everybody together. You can sort of, each one is used for different things. So Twitter, for example, a lot of people use that to update themselves on news and current affairs.
So it's just like a news feed.
Yeah, I think that's the main one. That's
because that's changed, isn't it? I mean, I remember Twitter when it first came out, and it was like a global notice board. And you could say, I would get up at 5 a.m. and I would say, hello. And inevitably 10 people would say hello back to me in different parts of the world and say, well, it's afternoon. If I said morning, they say, oh, it's afternoon over here. Where have you been, Vobes? And you could have a nice chinwag.
Yeah.
But you can't do that so much now.
No, it's... Twitter's probably the most disconnected, where you don't really get that opportunity to engage with people properly like you would do with Facebook.
Right.
So, like, the group that we've got on Facebook, that is probably Facebook's definitely the one that connects people the most, because you can build communities and make friends. And
even though the website is crap.
It is a little bit, yeah.
It is a lot crap from a host person. Because, forums, if anyone's ever used forums, they'll know that forums work really well, and you could carry on with threads and you could curate it easily and keep an eye on things. Now with Facebook, it's like, well, and every time somebody posts, it plonks things to the top, and the
algorithms are all wrong.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I mean. Okay, so let's just see what else. Kevin says, I'm thirsty. Yeah, I did gulp mine down a bit. I'm sorry, I was thirsty. Mark Selwood says, I happily done without social media until about 2 years ago. I had a Facebook account but hardly used it. Just use it for the group stuff. And I suppose on a personal level, that's all right. You've got business and then you've got personal. And then you've got a bit of crossover, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Because I suppose a lot of people's interests reflect on business and work.
Yeah, because people become, say you're into camper vans.
Yeah.
And you might be a member of a camper vans club and you want to buy a camper van. You start looking on a website or somewhere to buy camper vans, and you start following their Twitter feed, or you're watching somebody on YouTube who drives camper vans. And then before you know it, you're adding more friends. And then you might buy a camper van. So there's that crossover between the business side of buying a camper van and all those bits and pieces that you might need with a camper van, like a steering wheel, obviously.
Yeah.
It's
always essential.
Yeah, and a nice long bit of road. It's always useful to buy a bit of road to drive it on. I think that comes in your tax. So I think that's actually when you tax a vehicle, you get a bit of road with it.
Bit of road, yeah.
And all those, so you can't really, so even though you might think you're only using it personally, the advantages for seeking stuff out that you may wish to purchase, which is then you're purchasing from a business.
Yeah.
So it's all into...
I think Facebook's probably the one that's used for the most variety of things as well. So now you've got marketplace where people sell things that they don't want anymore. You can rent properties, buy properties, groups. I mean, there's just so much you can do on Facebook. You can literally have Facebook as that one hub for everything now.
And I always, you see, that it's interesting you say it, because I always think if you rely on Facebook for everything, what if either Facebook goes down or kicks you off?
Well, it's funny you say that. Facebook went down last week and the week before, and there was absolute outrage. And do you know where everyone went? Twitter. Because Instagram went down, WhatsApp went down, and Facebook went down, because of course they're owned by
they're all owned by the same people.
people.
Yeah. So that's, that's a huge risk that you do. And if you're relying on all your business, and especially if your business is very much on that constant flow of stuff, and if you have 2 or 3 days where you're not doing any business, then you lose money, as opposed to, doing a job and it takes you, I don't know, a long time, and then you get one big fat check. But if you're relying on lots and lots and lots of stuff, that's catastrophic. But do Facebook have an argument? Let's just say we're a private business, and if we break down, it's not our fault. You're using it for free, and if we break down, it's not our fault.
Pretty much.
So we're all a bit foolish, really, sort of buying into this thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was probably about 2 years ago now, I exported all of my pictures and my videos and stuff off of Facebook, so they're still on there, but I've got a backup copy on a little memory stick, because if Facebook was to ever go down, I'm sure not just me but many people would lose a lot of valuable pictures.
Yes, I think that's the other thing, is people don't back up. They just rely on bunging them on Facebook and think they're going to be there forever. But if there's a glitch, or Facebook suddenly don't like your politics, or they don't like the zit on the end of your nose, and they decide, you're not you're not our type of person, they could just axe you without really any comeback.
Yeah.
Because they're a private company and do whatever they bloody well like. Let's see what other people are saying. I'm just going to go back to some of the comments here. Robert Croser says he loves Snapchat. Is Snapchat still going?
Yep, still going.
What was that one with the 7-second video thing?
That's Vine.
Vine. Is that still going?
No.
No. Vine came and went.
And went. Yeah.
Up the vine. Malcolm says, I made a fairy door inside a flower pot to put in the garden to astonish our grandchildren.
Oh, that sounds lovely. That's really cute.
Yeah. Did you take a picture of it, and did you send it out on social media? That's what we want to know.
If not, do.
Yes, absolutely. My favourite nibbles are little squares of red Leicester cheese, says Malcolm, on pineapple cubes. Blimey. Robert Croser had a hamster called Nibbles. I hope he didn't eat the hamster.
Yeah, I hope so.
On all of that. Yes, I've gone back rather a lot. So my daughter spends ages on Instagram.
Yeah.
So because Instagram's just photos, but but I saw on Instagram the other day a photo, and then there was yards and yards of text.
Yeah.
Is there no limit?
There's no limit. There's a limit on how many hashtags that you can use, which is 30.
So you could put a book on there.
I mean, it would probably not allow you to.
All right.
There must be a limit.
It's colossal.
Yeah.
It's sufficient for whatever. So yeah, but do people read stuff on Instagram then? Because I just had the impression that Instagram was really just pictures, and that people would just sit there, at a bus stop, going, "That's a nice cat. That's a nice rabbit. That's a nice landscape," and just keep doing this and not really read anything, and not. Because you can't click through,
No, you can't click to any websites from the bio underneath.
What about? I mean, people often say Instagram is good for selling stuff.
Yeah, you can. There's a.
But how do you buy anything if you can't link from it?
Instagram has a built-in shop where it redirects you from the Instagram shop to your own web page or an Etsy page or.
A what page?
Etsy. It's like a website.
Etsy?
Yeah, it's like
Etsy Betsy Spider crawled up the spout. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly that. No, it's a site where you can put your business onto it and sell your own products on there.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Oh, okay. Well,
A bit like eBay, but
Etsy.
for businesses.
Let's see. Let's see if that's any good then. It may not be.
Would you like a little bit more?
Yeah, no, I would actually. How are we doing on the old Timex? Oh, yes, it's past, ladies and gentlemen. It can hardly be addictive. It can be incredibly addictive, says Claire Leach. Some phones and tablets can break down how long you spend on social media. I bet they can. That would be worrying. Ricky says, we like to drink with Richard because Richard is our mate, and when we drink with Richard, he downs it all in one and it's gone. Oh, sorry, Ricky. You're supposed to keep up, you know. Jordan says, I have Instagram, but I rarely go on it. I don't have Facebook or Twitter. Oh, that's interesting. What demographic are you, Jordan? Without asking specifically how old you are, but are you sort of 20s, under 20s, over 20s, mid 30s, 40s, you know, roughly? That's quite interesting that you have. But it's interesting you've got them, but you don't use them. Why have you got them and not use them?
That is interesting, yeah.
Kevin says he doesn't hang about. Thank God he doesn't drink alcohol. No, I don't drink alcohol. That's very true. Mark says, how do you think Facebook will evolve, Lara? Will it crash out like the others? Is it here to stay?
Obviously, I can't give a definitive answer. I don't work for Facebook. However, I do think that it will last a very long time because it's the largest social media network in terms of the amount of people that signed up to it. But
if they did
I don't think it will last forever.
If they did something, I mean, they keep getting accused of doing some dodgy stuff.
They have been doing dodgy stuff. They've been taken to court almost every day.
Almost every day?
Yeah, various legal teams and stuff.
And yeah, I mean, I keep hearing that Facebook have been doing dodgy things. Selling data and doing all this and you know, one has to be careful what one says because, you know, it is libelous. We don't want them taking us to court. But I heard that there, you know, in the news, you hear these stories that certain things have been going on, and yet people stay with it. Is that because there's no viable alternative?
No, there isn't.
If there was a viable alternative, would people go to it? How would they know about it? I suppose they'd have to advertise it, you know. And
on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think people would if they knew that the alternative wasn't partaking in the same sort of criminal acts as Facebook were, and I think that this
allegedly.
I think they have actually been proven.
Oh, right, okay.
But don't take that as gospel, Facebook. I'm sorry. I don't know. I think it'll take a bit of time to build up trust. Yes.
But meanwhile, I suppose once people are all interconnected, they don't want to sort of uninterconnect themselves.
No, people get comfortable, don't they?
The weird thing is, you see, when Facebook first came along, or any of these things, I used to keep thinking, why do I need to be on somebody else's web page? Because I had a web page.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, we've got the internet. The internet is the thing that we all go on. If we all have our own web page, we can interconnect with each other. We don't need to go on somebody else's system and do all that. If only each individual web page could be how Facebook worked and just get cut out Facebook.
Yeah.
And not have all the adverts and be sold to every 10 seconds and be influenced and have an algorithm or whatever sort of deciding how many of your fans, friends, followers, whatever it is, that your post could see. You know, I mean, that was the first thing that disgusted me was when I discovered if you post something on Facebook, for example, and let's say you've got 100 followers, then not 100 of them would see it.
No.
And just the fact that people then go, oh, well.
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind. Don't matter. It's like, well, no, actually, if I've got the bother of building up 100 followers, I want those 100 followers to see every flipping post I put. And I want to see all of their... Well, I don't want to actually see all of their posts, but I want them to see my posts, because my posts are the most important ones in the world.
In the world.
And then only, 30% of them get to see it.
If that.
And if you want them to see it, you've got to pay.
Pay. A lot of money as well.
A lot of money. And boost it, or whatever the rubbish is.
Yep.
And I did try a bit of boosting, but... didn't make a blind bit of difference. And how do you know? You don't know whether they've actually seen it. They give you numbers and stuff. It means nothing.
No, they don't give you any sort of profiles of who's actually seen it. Just numbers. So they could be making it up for all you know.
Yeah. I suppose it's if you were selling something and you could see that you were selling more because you've done a boost. But every time I eat a boost, It's just goes down my throat. And it's very tasty.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I do love a Boost bar, actually. They're good.
They're nice, aren't they? Kevin's Ramble says Ricky doesn't... Oh, I've done all that.
Yeah.
Malcolm says social media does work for commercial concerns if done properly. Well, otherwise you'd be out of a job.
Yeah.
Because
I would be out of a job.
Lara is in the industry.
Yeah.
Now that we employ our own marketing expert in social media, the downside is that we have to be careful what we post on Facebook. And careful in what way?
Would that be to do with any kind of regulations, maybe?
Yes, I suppose that's it. I mean, the one that sort of jumps up another thing is that the fact that businesses will spy on you. If you've got a profile and you've been out on the booze and there you are dancing on the table, you know, in just your undies or something, and then the next day you go into work and they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, we're going to sack you because it's inappropriate." You go, "Well, it's nothing to do with you. This is in my own time. We all used to be able to dance on the table in our undies."
Yeah.
But now you can't do that because someone's going to take a picture of you and
put it on Facebook or Instagram.
HR will... Is it HR?
HR, yeah.
HR will come round and go, "I'm sorry, you should be a robot when you work for us and not have a real life."
Be careful, kids.
So that's interesting. I like and use Facebook but can't get on with Twitter, says Judith.
That's fair enough.
Robert says the forums in Rome... I went there on a school trip. That's true. They do have forums in Rome. And they're nice and they've got pillars and everything. So you can have a kip.
Yeah.
You always need a good pillar, don't you? So I gave up Twitter, says Malcolm. I don't like it. The forums in Rome. Beware of the ideas of March. Oh, the Ides of March. Yes, that's it. The Ides of March. Linda Kane says, still frozen on the laptop. I'm so sorry. Take it out the fridge. What's it doing there? West Country Yokel says, ever tried Google Ads?
Yes, I use it a lot at work.
Do they work?
It depends what you use it for, I suppose. Like things like AdWords, when you have a website, if you put AdWords, you bid for the words and then You
bid for the words?
Yeah, so if another company wants the same words in a search term... So if you wanted to buy...
Did you go to an auctioneer house where they're going, "Today on the table we've got juxtaposition. It's a lovely word beginning with J and ends in N. A juxtaposition. Now, who's going to give me £5? £5. I have £5 at the back. We want £10 going through. What's the juxtaposition for this?" Is it a bit like that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It must be great fun.
All in the background.
All in the back. Is that the algorithm doing all of that?
Always the algorithm.
You can listen to the algorithm going, £5 and £10 and that's your hits. Going once, going twice, gone to the gentleman with a big cigar. How exciting.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, well, so they do work. Richard and Lara, did you read my comment about Tumblr, says Claire Leach. No, didn't read your... deliberately missed that one out. Just going back now to see what you said about Tumblr. Tumblr is the one that couldn't get it right in terms of the spelling, isn't it? Because they forgot the E.
Yeah.
What is that number of them? I know there was a thing called Fiverr. You would work for $5. Who's going to work for $5? It's like £2.75. Who would want to work for that? And people were making videos for that and doing voiceovers.
Well, it looks like it might have crashed a little while ago.
What's that, Fiverr?
No.
Tumblr?
The live.
Are we crashed?
Lots of people
it's
said
crashed.
It's crashed.
Pictures
Can
frozen.
you confirm that you can see and hear us, please?
Lost concentrates, dancing on the table. Well, yeah, so hang on. Are we still out there? It's always annoying when that happens. Oh, yes, look at that.
Oh.
This occasionally does happen. We get into conversation. No idea now whether we're talking to a camera or talking to an audience.
How long we've been going on for, and people don't know.
You are live now. All okay now.
Oh,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
We don't have a picture. It just looks like that we've got a bit of strange brain retention going on in us. We've crashed, but that sometimes happens. But anyway, everyone's told us we're back to normal.
We're back.
I'll get rid of that picture because that's a bit seeing us frozen is a bit strange.
Yes, it is. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, can now, but crashed earlier. Sorry about that. What did you miss out? Could you hear us, or was it just what have you missed out? Because we're all desperately trying to answer all your questions. Broken 10 mark. Emily Champion says, evening all, feeling a bit broken, ran 10 miles this evening. Couldn't you get a bus? Poor old girl. Lost concentration, was dancing on the table in my undies. We can see you now. So Tumblr, yeah, what was the question about Tumblr? And what is Tumblr?
Tumblr.
I mean, hang on, I know Tumblr is a glass.
Yes, it is, yeah. Yeah.
Because we used to drink out of tumblers. And I've still got a tumbler.
Still do, yeah. Tumblr, I don't use it a great deal. It's not really used for businesses, and I'm not on it. But I believe it's a little bit like Instagram, where you post pictures and massive long essays underneath it.
Oh, so
and people repost them. I think that's how it works.
Right. Do you repost on Instagram?
No, you can share, but it's complicated. They've sort of tried to hide it so that it's personal to each person. You can't share other people's stuff.
Right.
I mean, you can, but not easily.
Oh, okay.
I think Tumblr's quite popular with sort of teenagers now.
And so they just like hairdos and makeup and
everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything that
wasn't there
teenagers
something? There was another
into.
one called Pinterest, wasn't it? Is that still going?
Yeah, Pinterest is still going. I use Pinterest all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
And that works on the subject rather than the person. Is that right? On themes rather
than. Yeah, so
than.
you create pin boards.
Yes, because I did set a load up, and then it kept saying people were following me, but I got no engagement really, and you had no idea whether people were engaging or interested.
See, I find with Pinterest, it's not really a social network. It's more a personal thing where, if, for example, you're redecorating your bedroom, you pin different things that are like the theme of what you want, and then you use it as inspiration, as you would a pin board or.
Oh, see, because I mean, once I got into it, then I saw a YouTube thing that says it's the best thing for getting business and all that. And I tried to follow some of the guru stuff and found it was absolute rubbish.
I think the way that businesses use it is they post their pictures and they pay for adverts to come up in people's feeds when they search for a certain subject.
Right.
I don't use it at work. So
right. Okay.
I just use it more for personal.
So that's interesting. Oh, and so Emily Champion says, love Pinterest. Kerry prefers Tumblr to Facebook, as she says it's for old people. Yes. And that's really the reason that I put the Bald Explorer on Facebook, because it is for old people, because it's for a more mature audience, because young kids in their teens and what have you are not interested in the Bald Explorer going around looking at some old dusty church generally, or looking at the landscape or nature or any of the nonsense that I do look up. Because kids are too busy living their lives and not looking around at lives around them, so to speak. But when you mature and you suddenly realise it's not all about you, actually there's a whole world out there, you start to think, oh, where am I from? Where am I going? What is this beautiful place that we're building billions of houses all over and actually trying to destroy every 10 seconds? So that's why I put it on Facebook, because there's, more smarter people.
Yes.
Older people. Not necessarily smarter, but, teenagers. I just watched 3 or 4 crows attacking a gull, says Malcolm Coghill, apropos of nothing, but thank you for that. And now we've got this poor image of this gull being attacked by these crows. Who won?
Yeah.
And where do we place our bets?
What's the score?
What's wrong with teenagers like, says Robert Croser. I'm not quite sure there's anything wrong with them. It's just that they're going through the teenage process, aren't they?
Yep.
What are we... Definitely prefer Instagram, says West Country Yokel. Is that because, pictures aren't aggressive?
If somebody asked me why I use Instagram more than everything else, I couldn't answer it. It might be an addiction. I don't know. I think it must just be because it's less aggressive
and it's easier to scroll, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you want to like something, you just double tap on the picture.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah.
I keep having to look for the heart thing, and every time I go and put
just double tap it, and then it's done.
Because I did it the other day, and I was showing Julia something. I said, "Look at this," and I said, "Oh, look at that! I like that." And I pressed the heart, and it then just went to all my hearts. Because I went to the wrong heart.
Oh, the notifications heart.
Yes, yeah. The heart that tells you who's liked your stuff. It's like, no, God, now I've got to find... First, that means basically I'm senile. That's what it means. Little boys love the Bald Explorer. Calls it his favourite programme, says Cheryl Craigs. That's very nice. Misguided little boy, I'm afraid. No, not at all. It's good. You obviously you don't let him watch anything else.
The gull won. The crows back down.
Oh, did they? That's interesting. Right, it's about time we just take a slight break from all this social media nonsense and try our food of the night. So here it is. This is something that Morrison's do called The Best. If you like chocolate, chocolate gets you going in the morning. Maybe it's something that you have last thing at night. What sort of extra thing could you put into chocolate to make it absolutely disgusting? Do you like chocolate?
I love chocolate.
You love chocolate?
Yeah.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people are bunging in this caramel and sea salt.
Salted caramel, yeah.
Salted caramel. And salt, I'm not keen on putting salt into chocolate because I think chocolate's either bitter as it is or it's going to be like milk chocolate sweet enough. But not only have these people put sea salt into their dark chocolate, but they've also done licorice, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when Lara came, I said, "Do you like licorice?" She said, "Not really." Now, I know Julia doesn't like licorice. I love licorice. I do like dark chocolate. I like salt. So I'm hoping that this is going to be all mine. But
shall I pour some water out?
Yes, we might need some water for this.
Some canned water.
So we're going to try some canned water. Could we have some canned... What did you get?
It popped.
It's probably under pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably it.
So I'm going to try and open this without destroying the packet too much.
This might take a while.
That looks a bit rude, really. It just looks like you're having a pee in a glass. Now, does it say where the water comes from? You know when you get a bottle of Buxton spring water, you know that it's come from Buxton. Oh, you've done the wrong end.
Yeah.
Can I come on the show? She says, I'll be good on the show. I'll be entertaining and full of beans and life and stuff. That's what she said.
There you go.
Oh, lovely. A bit cloudy, isn't it?
It's a bit cloudy.
It's a funny colour. Because that's the other thing. If it's in a can, you can't see how clear the water is when you buy it. Because the can isn't see-through.
Maybe it's a massive con.
It probably is a con. Didn't Coca-Cola try and flog water? And they said there was something special about...
They do own a water bottle company.
I'm sure that they had something like Avanti or something, or some stupid name, and then they got done and they couldn't sell it.
Yeah.
Because they claimed that it had more minerals and stuff. Don't sue me, Coca-Cola.
Shall we see what it tastes like?
Yeah, cheers, big ears.
Cheers.
Well, it's got a lovely bouquet of nothing.
Tastes watery. It's all right. It just tastes like tap water, to be honest.
Can you refill it? Would you be able to refill it?
Let's have a little look. No, because it's got like a thing inside it.
And it's it is thin. I think it's a con.
I
personally.
think I've been ripped off a pound.
I mean, at least with a plastic bottle, you can refill a plastic bottle and use it umpteen times.
Yeah.
That is a one-off use.
Yeah.
And you've got to get the aluminium, and it's got to be recycled. I mean, I know the plastic's got to be recycled. I mean, I've got plastic bottles that I take in the car and just reuse them. And they're cheaper than a pound. 69p or something. Let's try some very yummy chocolate. So, now, you're a willing victim, aren't you?
Yes. I think so.
So here we go. Here, let me just show you the viewer. It's the traditional colour of chocolate, dark chocolate, as in that it's dark.
Dark.
Brown.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be black, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I did actually.
Because
it's the packet is black and it's licorice, and I thought, I wonder if it would just come out jet black.
It just smells like dark chocolate.
Does smell like dark chocolate. It's 52% dark chocolate, or cacao, or however you pronounce it.
Are you ready?
So, yes.
I'm not sure I am.
So in the gob, got that sort of dark chocolate, bittery thing, and and then there's the licorice. Oh,
Do you like that? I'm not sure.
well, it's not too much licorice. I want more
It
licorice.
doesn't taste very salty.
Doesn't it?
It's supposed to have sea salt in it.
It's got sea salt. It's got little crunchy white bits.
That must be the salt then. Oh no, I can. Yeah, I can taste the salt now.
Don't like the salt. Like the. That's a weird mix,
It's
actually.
it's quite strange, isn't it? It's a weird sense. Although I wouldn't stop eating it.
It's. They are all in there at once, but I'm finding my taste buds are going. Oh, licorice. Oh no, salt. Oh, bit of dark chocolate. Now it's licorice.
It's really confusing my mouth.
Yeah.
Really.
Mine's all over the shop. This is at room temperature. It might be better when it's cold.
Possibly.
But anyway,
I'm just gonna have some of my canned water.
Yes, I know. The aftertaste is not good because it's still a confusing mess.
Yes.
It's like you've been round the end of a party somewhere and you're just picking and mixing whatever crap there's left because you haven't had a chance to eat any of it, and you've got this weird mix of weird stuff.
Well, that was definitely interesting.
It was nice. Would you like to take some home?
Yeah, I might take
Take some.
a square.
Take some to get Ricky to try it.
Yeah.
See what does he like licorice? Do you like licorice, Ricky?
Ricky, do you like licorice? Ricky.
I should know the answer to that question. I don't know. I honestly have no idea.
Oh. Dark chocolate is not Oh, hang on. Emily Champion, you've just disappeared off my screen. What does it say here? Dark chocolate is not It's dark chocolate. It's not. Oh, it's not nice. It's nasty. No, it's nice. I like dark chocolate, but I can't eat the same quantity of dark chocolate as I could with
It's definitely an acquired taste.
How it's going to look the same later. Thanks.
No.
Yeah, it goes in brown, comes out brown, no doubt. I'm not going to look. Love dark chocolate best. Says Danny Harris. Thank you, Danny. Mark Selwood says, yes, I agree. Bottled water is just a huge con. I want to see them shoveling the crap out of the mountains of the Alps.
Okay.
It's beautiful up there, though.
Isn't it?
Isn't it?
We do love you, Mark.
We do. LOL, the faces said it all. Yes, thanks. That was Austin who said that. In the gob, I say one means in the scoff hole. Oh, chap. Yes, I'm going to have another piece now and shove it in the scoff hole.
How charming.
We have good diction here, don't you know? In the scoff hole. That's what they say up north, round Birmingham way. Lara needs a bucket, I think. Nigel Sadler says 95% cacao. Is it how?
Cocoa.
Cocoa, is it? I thought that was a funny way of saying it. He's brilliant. Is that okay, Julia? Says Kevin Rambles. I'm not sure what he's referring to. Dad's nickname is Gob.
What?
Whose nickname is Gob? That's charming, that is.
Ricky does like licorice, apparently.
Oh. Yeah. Did you like dark chocolate?
We'll find out.
Take it back.
Yeah, I think he does like dark chocolate.
Yeah, have the box.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I don't think I could eat much more of it.
No.
He says, I do. I just hope it doesn't get stuck in his beard.
Yeah.
Love dark chocolate. I think that girl, she nice like my auntie. Says Robert Croser, apropos of, I don't know what, Bourneville. Bit of advertising there.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Near my uncle David in Birmingham. Yes, Malcolm, chocolate should be warm, not cold. Now, it's an interesting debate, that. Chocolate, do you like milk chocolate?
Love milk chocolate.
Do you like it warm or cold? Room temperature, shall we say, or do you like it cold?
I always refrigerate my chocolate.
I do.
Yeah.
I prefer chocolate cold refrigerated. Now, there's a story connected with this, as of course you'd imagine there would be. When I was about 18, I lived in Petworth in West Sussex, lovely place.
Lovely place.
And I was staying in this house, lodging in this house, and in the town square at the time there was a chocolate machine. There was one of these old-fashioned chocolate machines. They don't get them anymore.
Unfortunately.
We have vending machines. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's one of those tin machines that you put the money in like that, and you and if you were lucky, you got the chocolate. If you were unlucky, which was most of the time, you got just an empty drawer, and you'd bash on the machine like that, and 3 bars would drop out. And it was one of those sort of things, 20p or something for a bar of chocolate. And I remember the best thing about this was in the winter, you'd be sitting around the table with your friends, or we were, and we go, oh, fancy some chocolate. So there would be a big nudge, who's going out? We'd find the money, shove it on the table. Thank you. And we would... Oh, I got a bit stuck in my tooth. This stuff. Then one of us would go out with all these 50p's or 20p's or 2 tens. I think it was 20p actually. I can't remember what I said before. I think it was 20p, and you put 2 tens in back in the day. And you'd come, and it would be frozen. So you get the chocolate, and it would be absolutely, brittle and cold. And I used to love it. And then thereafter, anytime I got chocolate and it was room temperature, was never the same. I had to shove it in the freezer.
Yeah, I like putting chocolate that's got caramel inside in the freezer.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
Like Mars bars and things.
Yeah, frozen Mars bars are amazing. If you haven't done it, do it. It'll change your life.
It will change your life. Never mind social media being a way to changing your life. Just frozen chocolate.
Mars bars.
You'll be all right.
Yep.
Just had a message here. Let's have a look. Just see what this was. I think this is relevant to the show, but it might not be. I may be just making all of this up. Hang
Would
on.
you like some more water?
Yeah, I'll try a bit more of that.
Delicious canned water.
All right, I've just had an interesting FYI. FYI for your
For your information.
Yeah, which I can't share with you because it's none of your business. Basically, Robert Crosser says that Dad's on holiday and told me to watch this Bald Bloke's Funny. They made films with his girlfriend. I don't think we've met Mr. Crosser's girlfriend, so not quite sure what you mean by that. I love milk chocolate and I prefer it cold, says Jordan. Thank you, Jordan. You're on our side. I put chocolate in the fridge. Much nicer, says Claire Leach. We've got another one on our side. I think the frozen chocolate brigade is beginning to get up. The texture is better refrigerated, but the flavour is better at room temperature. Yeah, if you could match the two.
Yeah.
I think Ricky has got a point there.
Yeah.
Cold chocolate for me too. Malcolm says, I don't like cold chocolate or cheese. Is it that you don't like cold cheese or you just don't like cheese? That's Malcolm Coghill. Nigel Sadler says, Robert Crosser, for one night only, it's Freya Crosser. Oh, that's his daughter.
Oh, I see.
There was I thinking that's a special type of chocolate. Like Fry's crisp. Not Fry's crisp and dry. What was it? Fry's. What was that? Fry's mint chocolate. Or whatever. Danny Harris says, Brian Ferry used to live in Petworth, apparently. I was singing in one of the pubs there once and the landlord claimed that he was a regular pub customer. Oh, that's very nice. What's a famous song by Brian Ferry that I might know? You ever heard of him?
I can't say I have, no.
Brian Ferry. He works for Sea-Link. Doesn't he? Brian Ferry. Or is it the Isle of Wight link?
Just clocked on.
He's got his own catamaran.
Yeah.
And for threepence halfpenny, he'll take you across the Mersey, apparently. Is it Brian Ferry across the Mersey? Is that him? Who knows what he's doing? Danny Harris says Roxy Music. What does that mean? Is that a band? Roxy Music? Is that a style of music?
I feel like that might be a band.
Love is the drug. Is that by... that Sue Blount says that. Love is the drug. That could be a name of a dark chocolate. Love... very cold chocolate. Slave to Love, Brian Ferry. Didn't Brian Ferry do Robin of Sherwood? Or didn't he do that? Was that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, I do it for you? Is that Brian Ferry?
That's Brian Adams, isn't it?
Oh, that's Brian Adams. I knew it was a Brian. Julia is the one to ask about music.
Yeah.
She knows it all. I rubbish about that. I can tell you. I can. Who can I sum up? I can't really sum up very many artists, I'm afraid. Brian Ferry, lead singer of Roxy Music. Oh, Brian Adams. There we are. See, Sue Blount knows. So I never listened to music when I was a kid.
Really?
The music that I listened to was TV themes. I like music without singing. I always used to find the human voice gets in the way.
I understand that.
Unless, of course, it's Mike Flowers Pops, who I'm a big fan of. Heard of Mike Flowers Pops?
Definitely.
Anybody else out there heard of Mike Flowers Pops? He was a big in the 90s for a short while. He did an alternative to Wonderwall.
Oasis Wonderwall.
Yeah, the Oasis Wonderwall. He did an alternative to that got into Top of the Pops, I think. Top of the Pops? Does that ring a
Yeah, I
bell?
remember that, yeah.
See, you can have a conversation about social media, and I can understand it, and then you can get into other, areas of stuff where suddenly you realise, oh, this is like just not making any sense. But then it's true, if you named a current band that you were into, I probably have no idea who it was, if it was current singers.
Let me try and think. Do you know who Lewis Capaldi is?
Lewis Capaldi. No, I know that the bloke who was Peter Capaldi on Doctor Who. I remember that he played that, but he was better in not The Office, the other one. The on the doesn't matter, political satire thing. What was that called? Peter. Anyway, no, don't know your fella.
Okay, he's a Scottish singer. It's number one, I think, at the moment.
There's a singer. Oh, I can't think of his name now. I keep thinking of him, that I get mixed up with him. I think of him as a Irish comedian, but he is a singer. And every time people talk about he's very, very big and famous. And I keep thinking that he's a comedian. Because I couldn't picture him at all. I'm a very odd man, I realise that.
The Thick of It, was that what you were thinking?
The Thick of It! Yes, The Thick of It. That was a great series. That was a good bit of a comedy. Malcolm says, it's a Wonderwall. Wonderwall, Mike Flowers Pops, says Claire Leach. Yes, Mark Selwood says, it's very, very smooth. It is, I know a groovy place, says the lovely Julia. This all means nothing to you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm trying to keep up.
No, it's fine. I like the one, he did come out, Baby Light My Fire. Oh, yes, he did Light My Fire. Who did the original Light My Fire? Come on, baby, light my fire.
And I was thinking of Relight My Fire.
Oh,
Take That.
Take That?
Yeah.
When Take That came out, I liked their sister band, Give Me This. Take That was all right, but Give Me This was better.
Much better.
Lewis Capaldi apparently is brilliant.
Agreed.
He is.
Yeah.
But you wear dark glasses, so he's not quite so bright. That's my advice on that one. The last currentish band that I got into was Portishead, about 15 years ago. Portishead?
Portishead?
I don't know who. I thought that, isn't that part of the Portishead, isn't it? In the shipping forecast, next to Light Vessel Automatic or the Dogger, isn't it? One of them? Lewis Capaldi, related to the other Capaldi, who was Doctor Who, appears in the video for the latest song. Oh, so, a bit of nepotism in there then. It's a great place when you're odd. Yes, it is a great place when you're odd. Peter Capaldi, says Claire Leach. Take That. Yeah, Give Me This. That's the other one. Give Me This. You ever listen to the albums by Give Me This? They're good. Put That Back. That's another one. We like them. Put That Back. And, of course, Don't Take That, which is always followed with a slap.
Yeah.
Don't Take That. They're a good band.
Very good, yeah.
ABBA. Has anyone heard of ABBA? I think they're Welsh, aren't they? ABBA. They come from Abergavenny. I think they originally started as a boy
Did you
band.
know ABBA have made a comeback, or they're trying to?
Have they?
Yeah.
Comeback.
Yeah. Apparently.
Come back me, come back you. Aha. Are they really coming back?
Yeah.
From
They're
Oblivion
doing a tour.
with Zimmers. Like the Dancing Queen with Zimmers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be, what do you call those mobility scooters?
Yeah.
Dancing Queen, mobility, no, it doesn't quite work. Warning, Dad's jokes alert, says Mr. Great Plum, which is Matthew Holdsworth. You can't hide behind your nom de plume, matey. Gary Barlow is mine, Julia Hartley. Gary Barlow. He speaks like that, doesn't he, when he's not singing?
Yeah.
Singing. When I'm not singing, it's Gary Barlow. My old friend Harriet, who I used to have a thing with, but I no longer have a thing with her now, luckily, for her. She used to like Gary Barlow. And she used to watch... Gary Barlow did one of those talent shows, didn't he?
Yeah, he's... Is it Britain's Got Talent?
Britain's Got something
or
reasonably...
No, maybe it's X Factor, something like that.
Yeah, Britain's Got a Pulse, just. I would call it. Loosely. A pulse. Gary Barlow, yes, I think you've got something there. I think you might make it big. No, I think that's completely...
No, actually, that was quite good.
Was that quite good?
Yeah, that was quite good.
Plays the flute on one leg. Who does?
I want to see that.
Who plays the flute on one leg? Jethro Tull are a rock folk band from the 60s and 70s, says Mr. Great Plum. Has anyone heard of a bath? Yes, and I had a bath only this evening. And their music is almost, pull out the plug and it goes... Which is a little bit like the TARDIS, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
actually,
TARDIS makes the same sound as a bath. I used to practice doing the TARDIS sound effects for the novelty evening at home with my in-laws.
How did that go for you?
Not very well, because they'd go, "Oh, you're going to do the TARDIS again, are you?" And I go, "Yes." "Could you not do something else?" "I can do a bath." And Daleks. That was my only other thing. I can do Daleks, but they get very loud. She had a great voice, said Mark, who, a bath. Mike Flowers was interviewed on Radio 2 this week. Do you know, I got in touch with Mike Flowers. This is really true. This means nothing to you, of course. But I did get in touch with him and asked him if he would do a walk about nearly a year ago. Asked him if he would do a walk, and he was quite interested. And he would walk... He lives near Croydon, or somewhere around there, near the Army and Navy stores. Somewhere around there. But it didn't happen, unfortunately. This is a recording, says Mark Eastwood. Oh. Did he have a wooden leg? This is actually really close to the TARDIS. That's actually really close. It wasn't a recording. That was me doing the TARDIS.
I can confirm.
I don't know how the modern TARDIS... This was the sort of John Pertwee TARDIS.
Yeah.
The John Pertwee TARDIS really was the BBC Radiophonic Workshop, Paddy Kingsland. Know him? No. I think he's dead now, poor bugger. Oh. We'll have to listen on the way home from school. He's off something. We'll have to listen on the way home. A bath or a shower, says Claire Leach. Well, I don't know what the time is. Have we gone over time? We're 10 past. Nobody told me. We're 10 past overdue. We have lives to get onto. That's the worst TARDIS impersonation. All right, Malcolm Coggill, your penance for saying that is to record yourself, not take a recording off the air of that, to do a TARDIS impersonation, and we want to hear it. A TARDIS. John Pertwee is the best Doctor Who, says the Flying Whippet, and he's absolutely correct. Doctor Who, John Pertwee, who was born only 100 years ago. They were celebrating his birth. I don't think it was 100 years ago, but he was celebrating his birth only the other day. John Pertwee, know who he is? No. You remember Wurzel Gummidge? The Crow Man and stuff.
I remember growing up and watching...
Well, I remember growing up.
Doctor Who, and it was David Tennant.
David Tennant was Doctor Who when you were growing up? Oh my God, that makes me feel old. Because David Tennant was Was he the second of the new versions of Doctor Who's? You had the one in the leather jacket who only did it for about one season and then whizzed off somewhere else because he didn't want to get typecast.
Was that the one after David Tennant?
No, before.
Oh, I don't know.
And then after David Tennant, you had that other young chap who looks 90.
Benedict Cumberbatch. He was Doctor, wasn't
think
he? Oh, no, he was Sherlock.
Yes, he was Sherlock. That was rubbish as well.
What? Oh, I loved that.
What?
What?
The Cumberbatch, yeah, no, it was a great idea, but the plots were rubbish, just like the plots in everything these days. Are you the girl with the gadgets I saw on Hadrian's wall? Yes, that's me. I'm the girl with the gadgets. Is that the name of a new book? The girl with the gadgets on Hadrian's. You know, they've got the girl with the who looks like a lizard or something. The girl on the train. The girl. From Ipanema.
There's the girl with the dragon tattoo?
That's it. There we are.
Yeah.
And all the other sequence
Yeah.
is the girl with the lion tattoo, the girl with a tattoo in a place we can't reveal, the girl who wanted a tattoo but wasn't able to have it because the tattooist, unfortunately, swallowed some poison when he was doing a dodgy deal with his poisonous ink provider. It's a very long title for a book. Anyway, listen, we've got to stop. West Country Yokel says, always had a nice slice of cake with Aunt Sally. How did it? Was and a wuzzle and a was and a woo was. Where's the cabbage? He was as like that, he was. I need to put my other head on. That's what I've got to put I'll put my thinking head on, because I haven't got the right head on at the moment, Aunt Sally. That was Wurzel Gummidge, wasn't it? Malcolm Cogwell will come back and go, that's the worst example of Wurzel Gummidge we've ever had. It was worse than his TARDIS. Oh, dear. Anyway, Mark Eastwood says he's done a couple of walks along... I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, Sycamore Gap. Oh, that's right. I remember all the doctors, but don't ask me to name them, says Kevin Rambles. Aunt Sally was probably on smack. Oh, that was Eunice Stubbs, I'll have you know. My uncle got a TARDIS in his study. And here's an interesting fact that's absolutely true. I am, as far as I know, the only man who has recorded a podcast in Doctor Who's TARDIS when it was in the BBC Wood Lane scene doc. And that is a truth. I was being shown around the BBC. I made a recording.
Went and hid in the TARDIS.
And I said, "What? There's the TARDIS." And he said, "Oh, you're not supposed to see that. It's almost flat pack, you know." And we went in. Do you know what? It was smaller on the inside than the out. There you are.
Unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
What a con.
Who is David Tennant? Is he Wurzel Gummidge's dad? Yes, most likely. Aunt Sally needed a slap. And in one episode filmed on Saltdean Beach, I fancied Aunt Sally, said Malcolm Coghill. Well, that says it all. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of the show. That's about all we've got time for. Thank you so much to Lara for coming in
Thank you for having me.
Bringing in the water.
Yep.
Which was an interesting feat. We've not tried water on the show before, but it was nice. And she goes away with the star prize of the remains of the licorice chocolate stuff for Ricky, who can't wait to get it smudged all over his beard.
Yep.
So that would be nice, and we want to know how that went down.
Yeah, I'll update everyone on that.
If you have any social media hints and tips, do send them in. If you need any advice from Lara, it's very easy. Just send me £400 and I'll ask her ever so nicely. And then, but I won't tell you that I made any money out of it. Okay,
Of course, I never heard that.
So there we go. I hate it when he changed Claire. Wurzel Gummidge used to have a whole series of heads. How kids were never affected by that. I wasn't affected. I didn't go completely loopy or mad or insane on the back of that. Or maybe I did.
No comment.
No comment. Until next time, thank you so much. It's been absolutely lovely to do the show. Until the next one, which will be next Wednesday, presumably, unless, you know, the world comes to an end or we've got a new Prime Minister. Until then, thank you, Lara.
Thank you, Richard.
And from us to you, goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.